Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Speed Gaming 2 on this Thursday night. In a matter of seconds, you're about to see these two runners take off. Paratroopa on the left, Cha0sFinale on the right. They have played two matches in the best of three already. Paratroopa won game one, Chaos won game two. The winner tonight advances to the bracket round. This is going to be a fantastic matchup. I'm bbq.gov. Imagine Sleep's doing the tracking for us, and joining me in the commentator's booth tonight is Fury SK. And oh my god, we're starting at the vanilla start screen.
Without an item in the B. What are we going to get? Anybody up an A? It's a secret to everyone.
It literally is a secret to everyone. It's one of two things. It's either the raft or the power bracelet. So no tutor start tonight. If for those of you who are not familiar with the flag set that's being run in this tournament, our runners get to start on the wood sword screen, and they get to start with one of three possible starting items: the recorder, the raft, or the power bracelet.
Yep, the lucky bomb drop goes to Paratroopa. She has 4 bombs, and now Cha0sFinale actually farms up and gets, I think that was the 8 in 1 count turning around. So both runners with bombs, that's always good.
Yeah, that has to feel good that 2 screens away from your start screen, you've got a whole bunch of bomb droppers, even though they may nab you in the back with a banana like Paratroopa's found on that screen 3 screens away from the start. But having the bombs means you can knock out these 2 bomb spots in relatively quick order, which is great.
Yep, only one enemy is going into the dungeons, as Korea is the only one to go up. The Tektites and the Moblins are on the overworld, so potentially a little bit more deadly in the dungeons, and timing-wise, it gets really fun to dodge those blue Gurias, since they almost, it's like you're giving off heat and their boomerangs seek it.
It really does feel that way, doesn't it? It's like they have predator vision. Right in the middle secret, 33 for both our runners, and we found level 2, 1 screen south of Death Armos.
There's a question in chat. How many possible starting locations are there? Is every overworld screen a possible start? For this flag set, I don't know the exact number. We see level 2. We'll get back to that in a second. But I think every open cave and or Armos statue, save for the waterfall itself, is a potential starting location. The waterfall never has the wood sword. I don't know why. That's a Fred thing.
Yeah, so for folks who aren't familiar with the Randomizer program, and if you have an interest in it at all in trying it out, please do, because it's a ton of fun. There are different options for the difficulty of start screen you can select. There's easy start shuffle, there's normal start, there's full start shuffle. Well, that's a potential ladder block.
It's 100%.
I'm sorry?
It's 100% ladder block. It's a Chevy in the 1 square. It has to be to block you.
Well, and I was about to say, well, there's Triforce. That's good news, but the one way you could get out of that is if that room that had the Triforce had a ladder in it. But otherwise, we're done here for a while.
Yep, it is 1Q. That was a boomerang or banana or moon, whichever you prefer. It's all pretty much the same as long as it's a crescent moon.
So that means, and again, for folks who are not familiar with this flag set, our dungeon layouts can be one of 3 things. As our tracker is noting that we now know that we started with the power bracelet, which makes it a little interesting that we haven't gone and pushed those 2 spots just to the right of vanilla start, but there are 3 possible dungeon layouts: first quest dungeons, second quest dungeons, and shapes dungeons. The way the coding of the game works, we find any roads here near start and take us right up to Death Mountain. That's very convenient. But the way the coding works is that in this flag set, levels 1 through 6 will be one of those 3 options, and levels 7 through 9 will be a different one of those 3 options. So in this case, because it's first quest 1 through 6, that means second quest 7 through 9, levels 7 through 9 will either be second quest or they will be shapes.
Yep, tidy up work. Heart container under the Armos statue. Any roads, mediocre, in my opinion. They're not the worst, they're not the best. Somewhere in the middle. Large secret, on the other hand, pretty solid. And we do know that the candle is in the 40s. I want to say it was 46. Whatever the case may be, Cha0sFinale 100% can afford it.
Boy, that's great to find those 2 things in rapid succession. You get money, which means you're able to buy a candle for relatively cheap. and not feel like there's our first set of hints that we can't get right now, but they're cheap, so that's some good news.
Yeah, I think that was like 70 or less, maybe 75 or less to get all three of those. It can roll up pretty much all the way up to 180 if you get really unlucky. I've only seen that once, and unsurprisingly, it was watching Dave versus Jess. So
that's just fitting, isn't it? As we find First Quest level 6 on Chaos Society, I believe that was at Vanilla's First Quest 6.
Money-making game, by the way, is pretty solid. We just saw Paratroopa play. She got the 50, so she got some extra money. But more importantly, as we find the any key on the floor in 6, that's a big find potentially. The other smaller deficit numbers are like, I think one was like a -2, and the other one was like a negative something pretty small.
Wow, that's about that is the worst run casino I've ever seen. As Paratroopa is going to grab her candle out of the vanilla level 1 cave.
Casinos, by the way, in the randomizer, if you have shop prices enabled, I think is the one that officially sets that. Could be wrong. But you have 6 values that it can have inside of that shuffle. 2 positives usually and 4 negatives. Occasionally you get a really low third positive because it's just kind of the way that I guess Fred has set up the gambling game for this one. So yeah, it's rolled pretty good for that first screen, but we have 3 more values to check before we know whether or not it's truly a poorly run casino or if they're just setting you up for disaster.
That's true. Maybe I am assuming a little too much that Fred is a truly benevolent casino owner. We'll find out more here as we get deeper in the seat, perhaps.
Yeah, Paratroopa had found the candle shop earlier, and with her winnings, buys the candle, so can take extra Take Anyone hearts from the Take Anyone caves, and that could improve their odds at getting combat upgrades should White Sword and Wand be buried in places we can't get to easily.
And Chaos takes an unfortunate death. That is cheap meat, by the way. They're at the northeast Armos spot. 40, 43, or 46, I think.
Yep. Not that expensive. Even the key's pretty cheap, so if Paratroopa doesn't find her way to level 6 anytime soon, we'll be able to buy a few of those. It's going to actually max out, although not by a ton. I think it's probably about 15 rupees max out. So 2 of the 3 large secrets gone for Paratroopa at this point.
I mean, that's kind of a good news, bad news thing, isn't it? That you, on the one hand, yay, I have money, but on the other hand, oh wait, I didn't need it all at once. Now what do I do with it?
Well, you hopefully find, if with the information I have, if I knew that the Iniki was pretty much free, I'd honestly just blue ring immediately to get way ahead in terms of combat and just go from there.
I like it. Now, are you the? I mean, Paratroop is a very experienced runner, and Cha0sFinale is a very good runner. Are you the type of runner that would advocate buying arrows early if they're not too expensive, or would you rather go blue ring if you max out, just straight to blue ring if you max out your wallet?
Well, if I'm maxed out, I'm buying whatever I can find to not be at max anymore, so that I can route in caves that have the rupees in them. Additionally, yeah, I mean, arrows is always a good buy for me. There's enough seeds now where Gomos have caused major trouble. There's even more where you find the bow in a Pole's Voice dungeon, so best just to have that available. Magic Boomerang on the coast as well. So I would buy whatever you can find, really, and start spending a little bit of money if possible. Not always possible, though.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that... Magical Sword here right by Star. Paratroopa, given that she's already picked up two Take Any Caves, hearts in Take Any Caves, that might be something that might tempt our runners.
In Heart Shuffle specifically, you have a reasonable amount of odds of collecting a lot of hearts quickly. You can go to level 1, have it roll 3 hearts instead of only being able to roll 1 plus an additional Coast Heart if you have Heart Shuffle off occasionally. So I've seen it in Heart Shuffle really go quickly. There's 235 blue ring. That's the correct purchase for what I've seen in the scene. You could have bought arrows, but I think the blue ring's going to just make it less likely you die on the overworld and can get to dungeons.
Yeah, I think you're right, especially at that price. That's almost the game gently nudging you to say, hey, you might want to buy this.
The other thing that impacts that is we know the door repair is the minimum 15, so you're not going to get robbed of a ton of money. And if you're lucky, if you're paratrooping and you're lucky, now you hit like 3 or 4 door repairs in a row and go from 7 to 0 to 0 to 0, because then you really can afford those 92 rupee wood arrows if you need them. Which is what Cha0sFinale has bought. Took the candle out of the take he wants, so he'll not have full completionist heart 2 rows, so Cheshire will not be pleased, but for the meantime it allows him to make use of the rupees he had, so I think in his case the wood arrow purchase is just fine as well.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it's a strategy among $25 bombs are okay. But it's an increasing strategy among a lot of our experienced runners to just not do things like you find money in a cave. You're not required by law to pick that up. If you're worried it's going to get eaten up by door repair charges, there's nothing wrong with leaving it in the overworld and coming back later when you found more caves that aren't going to rob you blind.
Yeah, I usually do that in and around like 180 to 200 rupee range. If the secret's 114, I'm okay with losing like 30 rupees. I just don't want to hit it at say 220 or 230 and lose almost 100 when I could actually use that money later for something else.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Potentially useful pickup here for Paratroopa at the Forgotten Spot. That's the letter. Particularly if we have second quest back half, the necessity for a potion might grow because we would have red bubbles in the mix. We haven't seen any indication of second quest enemies just yet, but we've got lots of time here as Paratroopa finds her third and final large secret.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly what we saw in level 2 or level 6 enemy-wise. I'm trying to think of whether or not we've seen the ropes or Stalfos or what we've seen.
I'm struggling to remember as well. I thought maybe we saw Stalfos, but this could be seed bleed on my part.
Alright, Paratroopa found one of the any roads to lead her not very far away. That's, I think, her third take any one at this point. So the question now becomes, does she prioritize the red potion as the fourth, or does she continue pushing towards the potential minimum to pick up mags, given that it's not very far from your start? And this is a seed, by the way, where I think anytime you get enough hearts and you are contemplating up an A, you just up A, save, and check it, because it's so close.
Yeah, what's that cost you? Like 5 seconds to go get it? It's even the times that you have 10 hearts, it can definitely be worth the check, because that 20% time it comes in, boy, it feels great.
Okay, so now he's got to be a little bit careful here of all the moblins. Half a heart, just barely living.
He's doing it good. He's doing it smart. Well, you got to be careful here. He's trying to half tile this. Combat-wise, so he doesn't take a bop. His pair is going to go back to level 6. He's doing a good job. He was hoping for a heart there, and he didn't get it. Gliak
in a potential push block room, so we know that's not going to push, and don't have to continue looking at it too much. No combat required.
Yeah, and that's one of those things for for folks who are maybe kind of just getting into this. You'll see as you watch our more experienced runners, there's a white sword item. It's a heart container, and Chaos is able to pick it up at the minimum of 4 hearts.
The ropes, by the way, are flashing, so they are super ropes, which gives away the second half.
We have the spirals of people call these lots of things: the spirals of doom, the cinnamon rolls of doom, second quest 7 and 8. Everyone's favorite.
In my case, that is actually my favorite setup for this tournament. Second quest level 9 is so much nicer. I'm willing to take a bit of punishment in level 8.
Yeah, you know what? As Para gets her any key, I'm kind of with you on that, because for every time that you have a garbage second quest 8 where you have to see 90% of the rooms, those times when you're able to have like a 5-room level 8, get the Triforce and never have to come back, those make you feel really smart. So I will take options that make me feel smart.
We have a lot of Pole's Voice and 2 HP red Lionels in this level 6. I think Chaos saw about to where we're at now. I want to say there were some combat issues as we went on with BMO statues and Pole's Voice and all of the shenanigans. So the question really becomes, is the other item in here just beyond what Cha0sFinale was able to do, or is it potentially blocked by an item such as the ladder? Speaking of spirals.
Second push, yeah. But Chaos has found second quest level 8. Whether he wants to find that or not, he's definitely found it up in Western Death Mountain.
Yeah, there's a Chevy to block the way that way, so we'll have to try and walk through or just give up. That's also fair.
Yeah, that's almost the game kind of forcing your hand, isn't it? Just, you could try and go the other way, but, on top of second quest level 8's kind of linear as it is, despite its 6 sets of stairs, but if it's going to be even more linear, that's just... You have the potential to sink a lot of time in there and not get much for it.
Yeah. Figuratively forcing your hand, literally probably is a wall master.
Yeah, well, in the practice seat I was doing earlier today, yeah, that happened to me in Second Quest 8. I got grabbed by a wall master at exactly the wrong time. So while Para's cleaning up level 6, Chaos in the Eastern Forest, Second Quest 7 vanilla location, is not, just has a mugger, so nothing doing there.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much done now that we've seen the top half of that. Level 6, a little bit of combat, a little bit of moat shenanigans. I think Paratroopa is just like, no thanks, I'll come back a little bit later with some of these small dungeons still outstanding.
Yeah, and that seems like a good play, but to your point earlier, her blue ring purchase really did help a lot. She was able to get significantly deeper than Chaos got in his first dip without spending a bunch of additional time, which was really nice. All right, well, here's our answer to where level 8 was. It's at Second Quest level 9.
Let's see if Paratroopa goes any further than this, or if she decides not even to check the left wall. Could opt to bomb, but you're losing a bomb on Death Mountain, which I think is a rough call. She's...
It's a tough choice. I mean, it does bomb, but you're right. You're down to 1 bomb at that point, and is that a risk you want to take?
Well, now you're just hoping to get the payday from the Red Dark Nut.
And unfortunately, he rolled all the way up, and it's not even a push. Well, no, hold on. It could be a push block.
Yep, it could be. Wallmaster's trolling a little bit.
Those red bubbles aren't helping either. Boy, this is just... Oh, this is a bad combination of enemies, having the red bubbles and the wall masters. And yeah, it still doesn't push. So, thankfully, the any key is going to do some work here and allow Para to potentially get over to that double column left side of the map. Yeah, it will.
Yep, Aquamenus does not prohibit you from pushing things. Maybe looking at roughly where we're at in the map here. The next room is one of 2 shots at the vertical chute. We'll see if that happens. Nope, the only spot left now is the very bottom portion of this column.
Alright, so Para's going to take this stair. Unfortunately, we have Keese that rolled all the way up, which is never anyone's idea of a good time. Yeah, Para, again, is just checking to get, because she's tracking, just checking to orient where on the map she is. As Chaos has found level 5 on his side up at Casino Corner.
Oh, this is a trap if I ever saw one. Woo! Man, I thought for sure we were losing bombs there.
Oh, that is nerve-wracking when you, especially in a quad shooter room like that. It's just, there are so many ways you can get knocked off kilter there.
What's better than plus HP keys? Plus HP splitting gel.
Oh god, those are just exhausting at the end of the day. Well, at least this room pushes, so at least it's kind of sort of worth the combat here. We're down in that far bottom left room here, as Para is just mapping, and that's another transport. Oh, and that's it. So that spits us out at the top of the inner swirl, cinnamon swirl, I guess. So you could probably either walk through or bomb down, else this is no, it's troll case. Fun!
I'm not sure what count Cha0sFinale got to, but the 12 bombs in the inventory suggest that we have found the bomb upgrade 5.
And chat's telling us that it was well timed on Chaos's part because he went from 0 bombs to 12 bombs. So even if you had to pay a little more than $100 for that, which I doubt, given that he has 139 rupees.
Yep, 78.
Oh, 78 for +4 is fantastic.
Yeah, there was a question, chat, a few moments ago, though, was answered, but I'll go ahead and repeat it on air. From a couple of years ago, they were watching some of these races, and in this one, they get the sword pretty much right away, but in that one, probably didn't have the sword close by, as the bomb upgrade 8 is also found. Was there a rules change, or are they misremembering? And the answer was, this is a tournament that we decided to allow runners to start on the wood sword screen, just to knock out some of that time that you may have to travel across the overworld looking for a sword that might be blocked in a very inconvenient location, guarded by many Wizrobes, Darknuts, or otherwise Lionels, Gria, all sorts of fun stuffs.
Yeah, and it's a good way to kind of reduce some of the variance that we've seen in other flag sets where, you can start out immediately. One runner goes left from start, one goes right from start. One finds wood sword 2 minutes in, the other finds the wood sword 20 minutes in, and this kind of evens that out a little bit. Not necessarily evening out the difficulty, but just removing one kind of needless variable.
Yeah, more importantly, we felt like the more swordless combat you really had to do, the more it might favor more experienced runners. And this one coming on the heels of a Rookie Rumble 2, where a lot of people are trying to, improve their play and, just kind of step up incrementally. We thought maybe we ought to keep the wood sword nearby. Evening that part out, it's not necessarily enough to make you the world beater, although we've seen some big names go crashing into some lower number rankings than they're normally used to, so maybe it has worked.
I mean, I think it has. I've been very happy. Personally, I've been very happy with the flag set. I think it's a level of difficulty that's challenging to our experienced runners, but also doesn't make newer runners feel like necessarily that they're at an automatic disadvantage. There's some people like to say anyone can beat anyone, and that's technically true. That's like an any given Sunday type of thing. But at the same time, it's never fun when you go into a matchup and you think I literally have no shot. I think in this flag set, and a lot of there's not the only flag set where that's true, but certainly with this flag set, everyone's got a shot. As Paratroopa finds level 4 up here in Eastern Death Mountain.
Yeah, Chaos has been in level 5 for a while, has the bomb upgrade, but I don't know that we found a lot else, because their heart container came from a Take Any One and a White Sword Cave, so seems like we've seen a lot of this and not much to show for it yet.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen either item, so now that can be good news or bad news, particularly if it's a necessary item in 5, because if it's a necessary item in 5, or certainly something that would speed things up combat-wise, like a white sword or a red ring, that's going to affect both of our runners. You know, Paratroopa is going to have, if she wants that, it's going to have to take that same amount of time to get it. But if it's just like double hearts in here and you spend all that time, that doesn't feel great. With Chaos putting those bombs to work immediately, yeah, having that extra capacity means you can, if you're stuck on wood sword, no white sword, no problem. Well, it is now that you get grabbed by a like. Speaking of that blue ring doing work on Parasite, she is stuck in a room with 8 blue Lionels. Good use of bombs here, and gets a clock to get out of it. Very nice.
A little bit interesting that Chaos is clearing this dark room. Dark rooms will only spawn a handful of things. Map, compass, key, bomb. There's the map. So there's not a lot that he could gain outside of probably bombs, given the Innie key is going to make the other thing less than useful.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that's in the heat of battle. It's real easy to forget, because especially if you're looking for a floor item, as Chaos is, I can understand why he would feel compelled to just kill everything. I gotta find. I've been in here too long. I gotta find this item, and there it is on the floor. That's a white sword. That's a worthwhile pickup.
Yep, that evens up combat considerably. One now with defense, the other with offense.
Yeah, and it's entirely possible. Oh, the Stalfos ate a pack of bombs. It's entirely possible, depending on when Para finds 5, that she never digs that out. So that could be a significant advantage. So here's the here's the stair item in 5. It's our container.
Yep, so we're up to 6 now, and can go back and grab the Triforce, I presume, unless it's ladder blocked. I didn't see.
No, I think it's in a pointless moat room. Yeah, so if you're Chaos, I think you have to feel like, well, I spent a bunch of time in here, but at least I got something out of it. As Para grabs her Triforce out of level 4.
Yeah, I think she's also standing right on top of it. I'm not sure if that was intentional.
Oh, the quasi-White Force? Okay, yeah, she's going to go back in. All right, Chaos has his Triforce out of 5. And 5's up the casino corner, and other than the 2 large secrets that are up here, we haven't really seen much out of the Northeast.
Yeah, with the Armos item being in the grave, not as much reason to go over here early. So, not surprising. This is that's a T room. The level 4, the bottom right corner spawn is a giveaway where you can just turn around if you don't have the ladder.
Yeah,
I think she was turning around. She just fired the candle off beforehand.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you get in there and, you know, in the heat of the moment, you're like, I'm 90% sure this is a T room, but I'm going to check anyway. And, well, why not put a T room next to a Chevy? Those go together.
It's actually favorable because both spawn pretty frequently in level 4, so now you know that both of them are kind of out of your way to explore. This room is all sorts of fun because it can be the push block.
Yeah, the game has decided lately that it likes to have fun with placement of the bow and the silver arrows. It seems to be liking to put it in Pole's Voice rooms and Goma rooms lately, for whatever reason. We say the game has a sense of humor, and sometimes it actually feels like it.
Better in this room than level 9.
Very true. Very, very true. Well, that's a good clock for... Well, that clock would have been good 2 minutes ago, but at this point, you kind of don't need the clock. And it does push, so here's our stair item.
Well, I mean, the raft is potentially useful. We still have quite a few dungeons outstanding. I think on the tier list of items Paratroopa was looking for, she probably had that pretty low.
Probably. And for folks who are just joining us, so far the only dungeons we have not seen are levels 1, 3, and by my count, 7. As Chaos is gonna use those large secret dollars, put those to good defense use and grab the blue ring himself. Oh wow! What a find on the floor in level 4. Those are silver arrows. Para is 100% done here now.
Yeah, the silvers are probably not in the worst location for Chaos to be able to find them. Level 4, most of the time you're going to just go ahead and take the full clear and get both items if you have to. But definitely saves Paratroopa from having to spend her rupees on wood arrows that Chaos spot.
Very true. And yeah, that is often the counter to folks who say, I'm not buying arrows until... or the counter to folks like me who are usually in favor of buying silver arrows is that, oh, if it seems like the minute I buy wood arrows, I find silvers. And, you know, correlation doesn't equal causation, but still, that money saved is money saved.
Buy the wood arrows to spawn the silvers.
Yeah, I mean, it's the logic. You know, if that actually worked, I mean, yeah, we'd buy the blue ring to spawn the red ring all day, every day. That is definitely worth $250.
It's certainly a meme at this point in the community that you seem to always get them right after you buy the inferior version.
All right, here's a first of 2 raft checks, and now it's just money. Oh, and we have our first slam move of the night. Oh, it's either the Octoroks or the levers that love to bop you back.
Yeah, that's pretty... Well, I was going to say that's pretty red, but the Octorok was red. But the spawn point for that Octorok was pretty silly. Only enemy on screen is right there.
It's like it was lonely. Maybe that's what it was. I don't think Paratroopa meant to fire the candle there, but Chaos is up to 8 hearts now after having found the 2 take annies here in the Eastern Forest, as Para has found level 1 in the Dead Woods.
Yeah, 30 minutes, probably a little bit concerned at the timing that she found this. Probably thinks that she's behind to it. Not true. But that's definitely a situation that runners often trap themselves into. They kind of metagame, oh, my opponent was definitely here 10 minutes ago, when a lot of the times it's the opposite. You're in there probably 10 minutes ahead of the opponent.
Yeah, I know. I've been guilty of that in this tournament. You know, panicking the last 30 minutes thinking I was behind when it turned out I was significantly ahead and had no idea. But yeah, it's one of those where it's just because it's first quest level 1, it's 3 items, it's relatively small. It just feels like such a juicy target. And well, it was up until you see this ladder block.
Yep, that's an instant turnaround. Conveniently, the fairy fountain's right above the level 1 location, so not likely to die on the overworld now for a little while.
Yeah, those 18 hearts of defense are going to be nice. Para's going back in. Is she going to re-engage on combat here in that one room?
Well, we cleared one of these. What was in the other room? I didn't even notice. There's level 7, by the way. I didn't see where Cha0sFinale was at. Oh, the blues.
Yeah, this is not fun.
It's even more fun, though, if it spawns like a key in the middle randomly.
Yeah, no, that's very true. All right, so Chaos entered level 7 at the vanilla level 7 entry spot. So only one room there, and you get locked in with a Goma, so that's great. But that blue ring doing immediate work here.
Yep, had to force our way through that.
And Chaos having the white sword here is kind of low-key going to help him combat-wise with things like in that exact room. Our keys rolled all the way up, our gels rolled all the way up. So being able to one-shot those and not have to deal with their stupid knockback problems That can, if we see a lot of that, that can be a low-key time save for the time being for Chaos.
All right, was it worth it?
I'd say that's worth it.
Results inconclusive.
Yeah, we don't know if it's going to give us the location of level 3, which is the only level we haven't seen yet. But it certainly is going to make it easier to get around the overworld. Because as Chaos takes a red bubble bop there. Because our any road locations are less than stellar.
Yep. Word of advice on level 7 and its bomb walls. Almost always the bomb walls vertically and not horizontally. So if you're looking for that one-off shenanigans bomb wall that Fred implements in level 7 so that his program doesn't break, try and keep it mostly north or south walls.
Yeah, my working assumption in level 7 is always that, I mean, no matter what, there can't be a walkthrough wall in levels 1, 3, or 7 if it's second quest. But in level 7, I just work on the assumption that there are no bomb walls unless the game literally forces me to have to bomb through a wall. As here's, oh, well, this is, yep, and Chaos is going to pay the bomb here rather than the heart. With the bomb upgrade, with the cheap bomb upgrade, that's probably the right move.
I view with blue ring and white sword, I think you can really go either way. But yeah, bomb upgrade giving you 12, going to 11's not as bad, so I guess it works.
Yeah, I mean, I would feel a little differently if we were dealing with a first quest or Shapes 9, because yeah, you can run out of bombs if you go in with 16 bombs in that scenario. 2Q9, you're really not having to bomb very much. So, but yeah, no. Certainly our really experienced runners have no compunction about dropping a heart container because they're so confident in their combat. Chaos, I don't know how combat confident he is. He certainly had done a really good job with combat throughout the tournament and in this seed. But it just, for some people it just comes down to how confident are you in your combat if your defense goes down a bit. Well, Chaos is going to hard reset out of that level 7.
Yeah, there are about 4 rooms of red bubbles and about 0 so far of blue.
Ew. That's not fun at all. Alright, well, Chaos is going to fill up on hearts, get the sword back. Could be time to consider locating a potion shop. You have the letter, and at least see what the prices are. Now you know for certain you have second quest enemies. Alright, some bomb farming on Para's side. She's going back up. She's checking the flute spots. Now that she has the flute, she's going to take full advantage of it here and see if we can find anything. So far, we're 0 for 2 at the grave. Well, and we just got our answer about whether level 3 was recorder blocked. It's the last of our dungeons to find, and the answer is no, it's not, because Chaos has found it. So our runners are looking for basically 3 things at this point, if they have the knowledge that we have. Bow and silvers, obviously. I mean, we know the location of all the dungeons. Our runners don't. But we know ladder's going to be required to beat both levels 1 and 2. So we normally have 2 required items. We know now we have at least 3 required items.
Let's get them all.
Yeah, that's full. Hey, I love a good 16 heart seed. Those are fun for me, but this is a race setting, and our runners are racing for a spot in the brackets, which will begin next week. that remote room there with the traps in it is just annoying. But Chaos, again, that blue ring purchase on both our runner sides is paying significant dividends. As is White Sword here for Chaos, this is going to be a 5-hitter for these Pulse Voice instead of the 10 that Paratroopa had to deal with. Well, there are potion prices, and Para didn't like either of them, but it's basically a 1 penny Pepsi day, but Para's not wasting the time and just going to spend the 87 and get the double potion. Meanwhile, on Chaos' side, he's definitely, as we find our second set of hints in the desert for Para. If we ever get the book, that could be good. But Chaos is down in the bottom of the Manji here and trying to slug it out with these blue Lionels and doing a pretty good job so far, using lag to their advantage. Well, there's one of our items. We thought for all our worth that this was going to be a push block room. It's the floor drop. It's a heart container. So now both our runners are at 9 hearts.
Yep, the most trolley in level 3, because that tends to be the one where I believe it's the key that drops in there. Or scanning.
Yeah, that horizontal shoot room in 3 always seems the trolliest to me, but, you know, maybe I just have some bad memories of past seeds where that's come back to bite me in terms of a floor item spawning in that horizontal shoot room. Chaos wanted out of that room so bad. Realized immediately, there's nothing for me here. I know where the Triforce is. I'm just looking for a push block, but now you gotta slug your way out of here or up an A. Good knowledge by Chaos. Does not have to clear this room. Does not have to clear this moat room either, because that's not going to drop anything other than maybe a key, or bombs, which he doesn't need. Meanwhile, Paratroopa is doing a good job of routing in all of the flute checks, putting that flute to immediate use. So far, not finding exactly what she's looking for in terms of levels, but she's making good time doing it.
Alright, what is the item in here? There's the item we're kind of looking for, I think. That's going to make this pretty interesting suddenly, that ladder find.
Yeah, Chaos knows that 2 is ladder block, but Chaos has not seen level 1, I don't think. So doesn't know how important that ladder is going to be. And the question then becomes, as Para is going to check the other raft spot here after burning down these moblins, is when does Para find level 3? Okay, so 3 is at the waterfall, and given the way Para's been routing, yeah, I think she'll clear Casino Corner here probably, and then clear the Lost Hills in relatively short order, and there's level 7 just at the top of the waterfall. So in your mind, is Chaos this is decision to do 7 first solely due to the fact that he's already up here? It would be really tempting, as Para's found level 5 here at Casino Corner and gonna start digging away. The only reason you're doing 7 first instead of 1 that, you know, you just happen to be right here and you don't have flute yet?
Maybe a little bit. Also, we were red bubbled, so if you're back in here without the red bubble and you have some staircases that were combat locked potentially, that are known staircases, as I call them, that you have like information on them being there. Sometimes you want to knock those out. So this could be either just trying to get through here because of wanting the Triforce, or could be because of the location of it on the overworld. With where we're at, hey, there's an item on the floor. Kind of, sort of vanilla if it was first quest.
Yeah, and particularly in a level like 7 or 8, finding that floor item early makes a lot of, makes it a lot easier to dig, because then you know you don't have to clear every room looking for a floor item. You can just focus on stairs. Chaos, unfortunately, has hit kind of a dead end. Going to have to take that stair back and find another path to the middle of the spiral. But having that knowledge early makes this dig a little bit easier. Hera on her side is making solid progress in level 5. Knows the exact room she wants to skip, and has cleared out the bottom half of this level. We know there's just a white sword in here, and it's fairly deep, so it'll be interesting to see if Para, seeing the location of this Triforce, now Para's going to grab it and run, it looks like.
Perhaps. We were at half a heart. This will give her full health. That could just be the play instead. We won't know until we see what happens in the next 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And she has flute, so she could come back anytime she wants. The fact that this is kind of out of the way, and she hasn't seen at least one level that she's looking for. No, at least 2 levels, because she hasn't seen... There's a... Oh, Chaos trying to candle boost to glory here and gets the push. Is he going to be able to get to the floor, get to the stair? Yes.
I'm a little surprised we haven't invested in a potion on... I don't think we've seen a potion buy on either side yet.
I think Para bought one. I think she bought a red potion because the prices were terrible, both for the blue and the red.
Well, I think that's something that Chaos should at least consider. I know he's got the prescription paper in hand, so can avoid potential red bubble issues in this level 7 or future dungeons. Although right now we're doing okay.
Yeah, but you're exactly right. All it takes is one bop at the worst possible time, and then you're kind of stuck. Having the red candle helps with some enemies, but not all of them. And Chaos has seen the, doesn't have to kill this room if they're looking for the item, but if Chaos is strictly looking for the compass or the Triforce, I understand it. But, if you want a full clear 7, you don't necessarily have to kill this room, although you can. Alright, on Para's side, she's about to find 3 right here, and if she digs it, as she almost certainly will, she's going to be very happy with the result. Oof, back-to-back blue Landmo rooms, but blue ring, white sword, and red candle make this not as bad a fight, although Chaos is still kind of getting beat up and has to pay a mugger. And unfortunately, all for nothing, is that blue Landmo room didn't have really much anything. There's the heart drop for Para in 3. She's probably going to pick that up, if for no other reason than 20% chance of mags. Chaos is clearing this room. This, I think we saw on Para's side that this is a stair, if I'm remembering correctly. Or no, maybe we saw this earlier with Chaos, that this is a stair. It almost has to be with that key spawn, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a stair. We were red bubbled in here earlier, so I think this is just one of the cleanups. Well,
Well, guess we're not but even going to bother to pick up the duplicate power bracelet. It doesn't give us... It's not like the Titan's mitts in Z3.
yeah, time to find the Triforce and get out of here, or find the Lionel Beam and get out of here all the same, maybe.
Yeah, that might be a blessing in disguise if it turns out that either the Compass or the Triforce. Now, Triforce could be, I suppose, in this Goma room, right?
It could. That's kind of the reason why I would probably defer to come back later. I guess without the flute, it's not as easy a call. If you had the flute, then certainly you could get close by to here very easily. That's a Triforce and 3 for Paratroopa. Don't know that she saw the ladder yet. Tracker doesn't have it for sure.
Yeah, I don't think she has either. I hope she decides to go back in. Oh, no. Oh, Para. You're going to want to come back. Well, you're going to find 7 right here. But yeah, you're going to want to stick around. There's some good stuff in there. Now, meanwhile, Chaos is just getting... This is just a gross room to have to do, even on Blue Ring. Quad shooter, you're getting it from all directions, and yeah, that was kind of inevitable. Okay, so Chaos decided discretion is the better part of valor, going to come back, and yeah, I got red bubbled, so nothing doing there. Meanwhile, Para, in that same room that Chaos got red bubbled, is doing a very nice job dancing around these red bubbles. He's going to be able to get into the stair. Nicely done. Now, on Chaos's side, we know that level 1 is just one screen north of here. This was... What was this? This was just a gambling game.
Yep, it's right here. So the question now becomes, what is deeper into level 1? I think we still have enough outstanding in here that could be interesting.
Yeah, bow is definitely a pot. Bow's the main thing we need right now, and yeah, we saw one of the 3 items. Chaos does not know that the flute's in here, one room to the right, but we've got 2 possibilities here, and either one of them could be good for Chaos. And Chaos seeing the blue dark nuts that await him is like, yeah, no, I'm not going to get beat up, even with Blue Ring. I'm going to fill up on health and go back and do this with beams. Paratroop is without a sword, but doing a nice job of using the pursuit of the ropes to her advantage, and nicely done. Able to use like 3 bombs to get those down. Really well done.
Yep. Don't know if this is the stair that's too beneficial, unless it's too... No, I don't know that we went through this one, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Gotta run down and hopefully find a Triforce, I would think. No such luck.
Oh, that's a one-off. There's the flute for Chaos. That'll certainly help in terms of getting around. But yeah, that's gonna check a 10 hearts for Max. No dice. All right. Well, here's some new information. As Para's gonna go back to okay, Para does not know how good a dig of this is, as we've got a Stalfos with a bow just in his tummy, wandering around in level 1.
Alright, so I guess combined now we have the answer to the seed.
Yeah, there's really not much else that can be blocking Chaos. It's Triforce and Go at this point, isn't it?
Well, I mean, Chaos needs the silvers.
Oh, that's right. Chaos has not found level 4 yet.
Paratroopa needs the bow and ladder. Ladder imminent, I think, unless this room is mean. Like that.
Oh, but at least she knows where it is.
Yeah, definitely go back there. I think it's just cleanup mode for Paratroopa. I think once we get the ladder, it's almost certainly a play for 1, given that we need the Triforce out of there, and going to be hard to miss the bow when the Triforce is where it is in there.
Yeah, that play going immediately, 1 and 2 are so close to each other. It makes all the sense in the world. There's a total of 4 items outstanding in there, and you still need bow, so that's your best shot at finding it. Now, she doesn't know that's exactly where it is, but it's going to turn out to be exactly the right move. Nice quick ladder clip to get in. She'll see the ladder, and she'll be very happy she came back. So given that we're 55 minutes in, and both of our runners have some pieces of the puzzle, we know the rest of the pieces, as Chaos takes an unfortunate death there in the tip of the eagle. Is this, in your mind, one of those situations where both our runners probably feel behind, but really aren't?
Maybe a little bit. I think Paratroopa is probably not feeling too bad anymore, given that she was ladder blocked quickly in 1. So there's only that flute that you can really gain from going there early. Outside of that, she's done pretty well and has enough Triforces where I really wouldn't be thinking that. Chaos is probably feeling behind, given the Triforce count there and the fact that we don't necessarily have Go mode achieved yet.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It seems like whenever we interview runners after the race, even ones who were ahead the whole way, they always say the same thing, which is, I felt behind. I was so nervous. And, yeah, but, it's easy to say that when you only have your half of the information. All right, good clock for Chaos. He's going to be able to... Still fishing for that 3rd item in here, which we have not seen yet. And Para's in that same room. Did Para go around the room there just north of the ladder block that had the bow, or did she grab it?
We have. So she's basically in Go mode now.
Ah, there we go. Okay. I completely missed it. I was watching Chaos's combat with the red dark nuts on my side. We're going to slug it out with this Patra here on Wood Sword, which is not fun even when you have blue ring, but Paratroopa is a very experienced runner and very good at combat. She's able to get this Patra down with relative ease.
Given the compass now, I think it's probably just going to be a simple jet towards that, if possible. Although we are looking up, maybe just in case there happened to be a red ring or even a wand, no, with second quest, we don't really care too much about the book.
Yeah, the only really other thing, I would understand if she was fishing for a heart in an easy room, to take a shot at Mags as he get grabbed by the grabby hands of injustice. Alright, free Triforce on the ground for Chaos. He's able to grab that. He's done level 1.
Not surprised Chaos is back in here digging for potential silvers. Will not be thrilled with what we find, but at the same time, it's one less potential troll off the board.
Yeah, and I think both our runners know that level 2 is right nearby, so I would be stunned if Para doesn't go there immediately after finishing up 1. But yeah, 2 free items there that were ladder blocked, and you can go get them. Well, there's a third item. It's the wand. That is definitely an offensive upgrade if Para wants it.
Yeah, unfortunately long gone now, but that's okay. It's still very capable of wood sword combat. Uh, and we're at 10 hearts with mags pretty much free at start, so if we head back there pretty soon, then we can just take that chance, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. Chaos is in 2 now. Gonna engage us in cleanup mode there and hope the bow is there, or the silvers are there. Unfortunately, we know they're not, but 2 is, with white sword, wand, and blue ring, this should be, unless we run into a ridiculous enemy set, this should be relatively quick. Well, there's a Triforce right there, but I would imagine Chaos, despite getting White Forced, is probably going to go back in.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. Maybe Paratroopa already checked. Well, in any event, we're going to get more hearts, most likely, before the end of this. I think there's at least one that's potentially on the way. And in 6, I don't know that we've seen the other item.
No, you're right. We saw really, really early, we saw the any key on the floor, but we have not seen the stair item yet in level 6, so that could be any number of things. Oh, this is a gross rune to have to deal with, but thankfully, silvers are doing some major work here. As Para is able to blast through in relatively short order. Yeah, we've not seen the bottom of this snake level 6, so Para not interested in clearing that room. Is that a room that doesn't drop in 6, or had she already cleared that?
I was actually looking more at Chaos fighting the Wizrobe, so I was not paying attention to the room itself.
Oh, well, never mind. We have a Triforce on Para's side, just halfway down the E column.
I mean, part of it's also probably combat related. Just go ahead and take on the very easy rooms and hope they have what you need before going back to the rooms that are not so fun. So that could be part of it.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And that is, Para is an experienced runner, and that would not surprise me at all. That's actually a really good tip I got from, I think, who was it? I think it was Homer J Smash. That, yeah, it's usually a good idea to try to skip, if you can, rooms that are going to take a lot of time. Don't beat those rooms until the game makes you. But if you have an easy room that might drop something useful like a compass, even in 9, it could be worth the 10 seconds or so it takes to clear it out. Now that we can one-shot this Goma, well, nope, that's not our Triforce in 7, but it is $5. There's one of our items in level 2. It's a heart container. That gets Chaos up to 10 hearts. And there's our other. It's the regular potassium.
Yeah, with that, we're pretty much out of here. So let's see. Maybe forgot they got Y-forced here.
Yeah, because that's both items. Is there? Yeah, that's yeah. I think it's got to be. He's seen every room now, so not sure what he was looking for, but he seems to have found it now, and we're done in 2. Para is slugging it out in this 7 and getting the unfortunate news here that we've got a couple 2-3 room segments here that you can't bomb out of. So this seems to be a game of pick the right magical stair to find your Triforce. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to bomb. Para doing really, really nice work dodging these red bubbles to get into that stair. That is not easy to do. That is very impressive on her part. So we're quickly running out of spots that our Triforce can be. I don't think this can drop as the Triforce, but this, yeah, it's push block. Oh, and unfortunately, it's one of the one-ways that takes you 2 rooms back. Well, that's no fun. There you go. All right, Para realizes it's easy to forget in the heat of the moment that, oh wait, I have ladder now. I don't have to stand here and get beaten up by blue landmos. I can just do this and get out of the way. So, 2 rooms of blue landmos. That's nothing. This is gonna be a mugger, and she's gonna pay the bomb. What part, between our 2 runners, what part of this 7 haven't we seen? I feel like the only thing I can think of is that top right part of the swirl, but it feels like we've been everywhere else.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Now, our second mugger is going to take another of our bombs. And we... I think Chaos died in this room, didn't he?
Yeah, I seem to remember this room giving Chaos a little bit of trouble.
Meanwhile, Chaos is back in 6th, looking for that second item. Nice one-shot on the manhandler there, but that's not our Triforce.
Must have also been with no sword, is what we're hearing.
Oh, that's right.
Now, I remember there was... it may not have even been this dungeon. There is the Triforce. There was one where the Beamos got him, and then I guess there was also one where the lack of sword also hurt. Perhaps it was level 6 where Chaos is now. That was the Beamos that got him.
Yeah, that would make some sense. Okay, so good news for Para. She's got all 8 Triforces. She's got bow. She's got silvers, and she knows where the location of level 9 is. It's on Candle Row. So at about an hour, yeah, just under an hour and 8 minutes, she's going to be the first of our runners to make entry into level 9.
Yeah, the big difference right now is simply finding level 4. Chaos, I think, to this point still hasn't found it, and Paratroopa found it fairly early, so some go mode was achieved here late on, and that was a roar immediately, maybe?
Oh, I completely missed it. Yeah, no, she's acting like there was a roar. She's checking all 3 directions. And of course it's the 3rd direction, because Ganon's just like that. Alright, at 1 hour and 8 minutes and 30 seconds, we have our first Ganon sighting of the day in a pointless moat room. Para needs to be a bit careful here. Blue ring means a high roll driver will cost 2 hearts of damage. And she's on wood sword, so she's going to need 15 hits here to get the pig in a vulnerable state to hit him with some silver arrows. Trying to get the stun lock here. Had it for a second. But Ganon's a little off-center here?
Yeah, with the red potion, I think now is definitely the time to go ahead and burn 1. You're not going to need to necessarily have the sword much anymore. So, better just to not die and continue progressing through this Ganon fight.
And she's taking the risk-averse strat, which I actually like here. If Ganon's not behaving, his pattern is not behaving, just set up shop here in this bottom left corner, 1 tile above the very bottom, and just wait for him to come to you and see if you can get a stun lock that way. Like that!
Yeah, Tommy's just a little bit off, so he's dancing. given the different movements, but that was enough hits there where the fight is basically over.
Very nicely done. So there's the the other Triforce that you need. I can never keep track of it. It's the one of power, wisdom, courage. Who knows? But we have it, and now we're just looking for the girl.
I think Chaos is about to escape this level 6, unless they are looking for more items in here, which they are, so onward we go.
Yeah, according to my tracking, the only non-heart items we haven't seen yet are Book and Red Ring. So, both, the Red Ring would certainly be nice, but yeah, that's not what Chaos is looking for. As Para's found another Rupee boss. Gonna pick it up here just in case it drops a compass, and it doesn't this time.
Yeah, the other good thing about level 9 is there really isn't any chance to get trolled by, let's say, a bait block, as it's going to stay true to the dungeon it's supposed to be in first and second quest setup.
Yeah, so that has to be a relief. And, oh, there's a door. Is this our? Yes, it is. That's our answer. Here's the girl in Ganon's room. So get your GGs in chat, everybody, for our Game 3 winner this evening, Paratroopa1, as Chaos finds a heart container in 6. Para's official race time to GG time is 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 8 seconds. Boy, I mean, Fury, I think you called it right away. That level 4 had the answers tonight. All right,
yeah,
we are. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Chaos, realizing that the upper bracket tournament life is over at this point, is going to also forfeit and perhaps join us in the booth.
Yeah, we're working on that as we are joined by our race winner in the booth this evening, Paratroopa. Para, GG, very well done.
GG.
So those early ladder blocks were not fun, I'm sure, to find in levels 1 and 2. But yeah, your combination of getting ladder in 3 and silvers in 4, once you had that, you turned on the jets.
Yeah, it was really quick. I thought that I was going to need to search a lot more item locations than I ended up needing to, because ladders kind of ended up being in 3, and then the bow was in 1, and I already had the silvers in 4, so I really didn't need to dig out any of the later dungeons that much, and I think that saved me a lot of time, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, we are joined as well by Cha0sFinale. That is pretty much what happened. I think Chaos had to make sure there wasn't any items in level 2 that could potentially turn into the silvers. Full cleared 5, which of course provided a white sword, so that gave Chaos the combat advantage fairly early. Level 1, I think the Blue Darknuts had the wand, also got that, so there were combat advantages to be had, however, not enough to necessarily make up the time of having Go mode achieved.
Yeah, this was. I mean, I won, so I'm very happy. But this was like a sort of dissatisfying seed, because there was so many opportunities to get Magic Sword, but I never found any heart containers after the early rush of them, and it was just right there at the start. But I only got 10 hearts, so I never got Magic Sword.
All of mine, because I found them.
Oh man, yeah, that's what saved me. That's why I won the race, right? It's because I didn't get Magic Sword, because I didn't explore for the hearts. But just I had no white sword, no wand. I'm just well, I'm going in with wood sword. That's fine. And it worked out though, because I had blue ring and a potion, and that's enough to get through a pretty tough Ganon fight.
Yeah, I was stuck digging nonsense. I played bad. I played really bad. So I mean, it is what it is. GG's.
Yeah, that's a tough one to go out on. GG. It was a good set of races, though.
Yeah.
I'm glad it went to a game 3. Those are fun. I like.
It's always nice when it goes to game 3.
It's nerve-wracking, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think really the other thing that really got chaos in level 7 specifically was one room away from the Triforce in the northeast corner. There's a significant enough combat room in red bubble mode, so had to turn away from the Triforce there. That would have turned it into just finding the Triforce in level 8, which we knew the location for, and level 4, which we did not know the location for yet. So it was a little bit closer, perhaps, than Chaos realized. Just had to find level 4, and once you find level 4, as long as you're willing to dig it a little bit, you find
Where was
silver.
level 4 anyway?
Eastern Death Mountain.
Go figure.
Yeah, it's in the cave that you bomb once you go up the stairs. That's where it is.
Yeah. Like I bombed pretty much everything else in Death Mountain except for that strip up there by Spectacle Rock. So
Yeah, that's where it is. I explored everything except for the ladder spaces and the whistle spot west of where 4 is. 7 and 3 are the last 2 things I found. I was like, am I going to need ladder to get into these? And they were just, it was just the waterfall and the lake spot. I was like, okay. So that was kind of funny, but it ended up being okay, I guess, that I found 3 so late. I was a little bit worried about that.
yeah, like I dug out 7 and 8 too long, I think, and for whatever reason, I don't even know why, I never went back to the Deadwoods until like almost an hour in.
That happens to me sometimes.
So it's like in level 1 was there, the bow was there, the wand was there. And at that point, I already knew. I was like, well, it was just under a bush in the Deadwoods. Like almost anybody else would have gone back by now, and they would have already had this stuff by now.
Yeah.
So at that point, I pretty much figured. But
the first time I found one, I didn't find it super early, and it was ladder blocked, so I couldn't really get in there. I did fight the room of requirement for the recorder, which didn't end up blocking anything, but it did help me a lot from the overworld, which was nice. Still a really good find. But I didn't get in. I never got the wand, and I had to double dip into one to get the bow later and the Triforce. So it wasn't a huge advantage to me early, but getting the recorder, I think, did probably save me some time. Especially because of the peace of mind that I could just leave these dungeons with the Triforce and not have to dig them, because I could always come back later. And, you know, I got the Triforce early in 5 and 7 and... Not 7. 5 and 8. I didn't get the items in 7 either. I got the red candle, which is actually nice. But not having to dig 5 and 8 was a really big deal. I also didn't dig 2, because I didn't have the ladder for that either, and it was blocked. So actually, the early ladder blocks were fine for me. Like, they didn't actually hurt me that much. I was like, oh, this is kind of annoying, but it tells me where the ladder's not, and that's kind of nice.
Yeah, it almost bit you because you had to go back to 3 to get the ladder. I think you would grab the Triforce, but you know that's the curse of having the recorder is the notion of, oh, I can come back here anytime I want.
I was like, I'll jump into 7 and see what's in there, and it was kind of, there were Pole's voices, which I was not happy about. And 7's always, Second Quest 7's always just a pain to get through. So I did end up dipping out of that, and I was like, and then I can't remember what I did after that. I was like, I think I had to finish. I was like, I'll just go back to 3 and see if that's where the ladder is. Hopefully it's not 5, because I left that alone. But 3 is faster to get the one item in, and it ended up being the ladder, and that was huge.
Yeah, 5 had the white sword, but it was fairly deep. So unless you were forced to go digging for items, you probably weren't going back for that.
Fortunately, I had 2 bomb upgrades, so that was a big combat help. I bombed a lot of stuff in this seed just because Wood Sword is so slow. And then I got the silver arrows, and that was really nice for 7. So I was very annoyed at not having combat, but it worked out because I had the blue ring, and that was enough. Early blue ring was huge. Early magic key was also huge. I got that in 6. I don't know if that was something Chaos found early, but
yeah, that was actually I think the very first item I found.
Okay, cool, that's good, because that
did help.
A lifesaver.
Yeah, both of you were playing pretty similarly early on. You both had any key within about 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. You both filled up your wallets with with the large secrets and used it to buy Blue Ring. So, and that paid dividends for both of you. So, yeah, Chaos. When you watch this back, I think you'll find that this was a pretty close race most of the way.
Yeah, I'm guessing probably if I had to guess, it was probably around the 45-minute mark is probably when, because I feel like that's about when I started beating my head against the wall in level 7. So it's probably when it started to fall apart for me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it fell apart. I mean, I think it was just you were digging for bow and silvers, and those ended up being time sinks in dungeons that didn't have it. And it just so happened that the one dungeon you hadn't found yet was where it was.
Right.
So, but you guys both of you put on a really good 3-game series here. All 3 of these matches were fun to watch. This was a really even matchup, and yeah, this was fun. This was fun for us to watch, and thank you both for giving us a really entertaining, deciding game this evening.
Yeah, GG, and thanks for the restream.
Yep, thanks for everyone's help with restream and commentary and whatnot, and good luck in brackets, Para. And
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, everyone have a good night.
All right, and a big shout out to our tracker this evening, Imagine Sleep. I know we mentioned Imagine Sleep earlier. Our trackers are the real MVPs, and they make us look brilliant. Me in particular, because tracking on my own while I'm doing comms, I'm not so good at that. So big thanks to Imagine Sleep for jumping in and helping us with tracking this evening, and of course, big thanks to Fury SK for pairing up with me this evening with for comms. This was an entertaining race, Fury.
Indeed it was.
Yeah. So any final thoughts before we wrap this up? I mean, I know we have a ton of matches on all the SpeedGaming family and networks going on the rest of this evening. There are at least 3 other races going on right now.
That's correct. SpeedGaming 1, 3, and 4 are in progress. SpeedGaming 2, which is right here, will be starting up probably in about 40 minutes.
Yeah, this is I think, if not our busiest night of the week with all the matches, it is one of the busiest nights. So if you're looking for more fun races, including ones that are going to decide who advances to the brackets, just hang out here for the next couple of hours, and you can see all the races you want on the SpeedGaming family and networks. So on behalf of my co-commentator, Fury, and on behalf of our tracker, Imagine Sleep, and all the folks behind the scenes helping get this set up, thank you all for watching. This has been a really fun race, and congratulations to our runners this evening. Enjoy more Zelda action this evening and the rest of the week on the SpeedGaming family networks. Have a great evening, everybody.